What's up, guys? I'm Shreyas Laddha, and this is my guy Carter Stanley. It's another episode of Rock Chalk Film Room. Kansas comes off a big win against Fresno State, a drubbing, really is what I'd call it. They were in complete control, 31-7 victory. They were dominant on both ends, and now they play Wagner on Friday. I don't think we need to preview or look too much at Wagner because I think Kansas is going to win pretty handily. So me and Carter kind of thought about it, and we were like, let's look at some of the things they did on the offense and defensive end. I think they're pretty creative, and I think there's a lot you can kind of take away from both offensive defensive coordinators, which are new for Kansas. The first thing we have is on the defensive end. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, no, it was awesome to see just the environment as a whole on Saturday. And, like you said, two new coordinators. So, obviously they're both internal, but wasn't quite sure what we were going to get, and definitely saw some encouraging things on both sides of the ball, and definitely encouraged by this guy right here, Kamara, number one. I think he's going to be a big-time playmaker for this defense, coming off the edge, making plays like this. This was, just our guy being better than their guy, coming off the edge, that left tackle, and I thought all in all, pre-snap, the defense adjusted to the motion pretty well. Mm-hmm. Looks like they get in, looks like two-man maybe, because they go two high safeties, and then everyone else kind of looks to be manned up. But, Kamara gets back there so quickly that it really doesn't even matter what kind of coverage we were in. So, no, definitely awesome to see. And then big fella getting on the ball here. It's great.
When you watched that game, did you feel like it was a lot faster, the defense? Like, I felt like this defense was much more athletic and faster. Obviously, it's tough to tell because it's Fresno State, right? It's not like it's, a Big 12 opponent. But I felt like the defense had a lot more athleticism. There's a lot more speed to it. And they've looked a lot better on that end. I think, like they can get to the pass rush. I was really impressed by the defensive line during the game against Fresno State. I think that was a major question mark with me, along with the secondary. But I felt like, Kansas hasn't looked that fast since I've been on the beat.
Yeah, I think, like we mentioned, Kamara, he's a game changer. I think he's going to have a Austin Booker type of presence coming off the edge, which is great. I think that's something that we kind of lacked last year, just kind of a true edge rusher. And, I know Dean Miller was hurt for this game. When he eventually comes back, I think that's going to make us that much better in the front seven. Keenan Caldwell recovering this fumble here. He was making plays left and right. That was awesome to see. And, I thought all in all, we moved around really well. Definitely, a couple missed tackles early on in the game, but, that's kind of stuff that happens, first week or two. So,
yeah, I think they bounced back really well after that rough first drive, where they gave up 75 yards. But I really didn't expect the defense to look as good as it did on Saturday. I thought it was going to be a major question mark coming in this year just because the secondary is so young. The defensive line's filled with new starters. But I came away pretty impressed. But the thing everyone has been talking about, and national, local conversation, is Jaylen Daniels and the offense. And I think there's no perfect play than to kind of showcase what happened first touchdown of the game, basically.
Yeah, this is awesome. We saw a lot of the two-back formations being ran, and I'm kind of hesitant on calling it 21 personnel because Cam Pickett is a wide receiver. He's lined up as the running back, flanked on the left of Jaylen Daniels. And all this is an RPO read to the flat. So Jaylen, ball snapped. He's got eyes on most dangerous man on the line of scrimmage. This is actually a perfect look for it because that backer comes in screaming in late. He's either making a play on the run or he's getting burned by like he does right here. And what really makes this is the receivers blocking on the perimeter. Mm-hmm. Just incredible job. This play, might work for a couple yards if they don't do as good of a job there. But the fact that you go a hat on a hat, 2 for 2 here, perfect blocking by both of them, that, springs Pickett here for 6 points. And, that play's always going to work when you have great perimeter blocking like that.
Yeah, did you feel like that was different than last year? I mean, obviously game one, but did you feel like a significant difference in creativity? I felt like the line shifts, the option plays, et cetera, that they ran against Fresno State. Kansas showed a lot more, at least in the first half, a lot less vanilla offense than we saw a lot of last year under Jeff Grimes. And I'm not trying to disparage Jeff Grimes or throwing him under the bus, but it felt like, this reminded me of the Kotelnicki offense that we saw back in 2023 and before that.
No, totally. A lot of pre-snap shifts and motions, and some of it's just kind of eye candy, not too much of a purpose. Some of it is to improve your leverage, whether it's on a blocking scheme or running a route. And it was great. I think the pass game, like we talked about episode one, I think it was pretty easy reads for Jalen. Like right here, he literally has one read. That's it. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. So I think, it definitely reminded me more of the Kotelnicki offense.
100%. And then another one, LaShawn Williams touchdown.
Yeah, this was great too, because it's not technically the same formation, but you could see two backs, and on this one they had Highshaw and LaShawn Williams, two true running backs lined up in the backfield, opposed to Pickett on the first one. But I think pre-snap they had Highshaw out at wide receiver. He motioned in, and then the tight end, can't tell who that is there, but he motioned in from receiver to that off-ball Y position. And this play right here, it looks, smells, sounds like it's going to be triple option with that initial read being between Daniels and LaShawn Williams. And you could tell the defense, just how the backers react to that. They all kind of fly out. The safety even comes down. And I think Jalen did a great job here of not rushing anything, really riding that fake and selling the triple option. Mm-hmm. And then once he kind of does the quick fake pitch, he gets back behind the center of his offensive line. That's huge. And if the wheel route wasn't there, you got the tight end leaking behind on kind of a shallow route. That's certainly a play that, or a route that's going to get hit on this play. And even further than that, if both of these safeties crash down hard, you could hit that post route deep. So, no, I think it's a great concept. And again, it's out of the same look as what we saw on that first touchdown. So they can do a lot of different stuff from this two-back set.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of reminded me, maybe just the number 4 reminded me of a little Devin Neal kind of action, the way it kind of put together. Because I know we saw Devin Neal last year have some more opportunities as a pass catcher. I think he didn't have in previous years. And I think he's, LaShawn Williams is going to get that same opportunity. I mean, we saw this game, Jalen Daniels was used as a rusher more than LaShawn Williams was. I mean, he had more carries. So I think there's a real opportunity for LaShawn to be a pass catcher for Kansas. And, if Highshaw is the power back and the guy getting the most of the touches there, LaShawn Williams could be getting, maybe 4, 5, 6 carries a game. But, you can also get 3, 4 catches a game, and that's a nice little balance there.
Yeah, totally. And I think we will see that. I think Highshaw is going to be the primary back, the one with the most carries, and LaShawn Williams is going to be more of a change of pace, balance back, if you will. And don't get me wrong, Highshaw can definitely be effective in the pass game. We saw it in 2022 versus Duke when he had that incredible long touchdown. The announcer had the voice crack. Look at Highshaw go. That was all time. But no, I think these backs are going to be very involved in this year's offense.
I completely agree. And I think one of the underrated parts of this game was, 10 different guys got touches. I think the spread the ball offense, obviously, I talked to Lance Leipold about it, asked him, and he said, it's a game-by-game thing, but, we do want to get guys involved, and it makes KU's offense that much more dangerous when, they're not force-feeding it. I think last year's offense, when you go back and look at it, I think there were times that Kansas force-fed the ball to Luke Grimm or force-fed the ball to Quentin Skinner or Lawrence Arnold. And it was coming, right? And sometimes it would work. And other times, you were sitting there and wondering, why are we doing the same play over and over again? I mean, a guy we've talked so much about, Emmanuel Henderson, he was relatively quiet, but he had a couple of nice catches. He drew a defensive pass interference. And He was a guy that you could quickly learn. I think Fresno State couldn't guard him one-on-one, so they had to put two, a safety up top on him, and that left other guys open.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to see a lot of that too. And the speed out of the wide receiver position, that's another thing that really stuck out to me. Henderson, he had a quick little jet sweep, I think maybe on the first drive. And gosh, I mean, I know it only went for 8 yards or something, but I think we could see one of those go for 80, before the end of the season. He looks like he could fly. Pickett runs well. Wentz, he didn't get a lot of action, but he could definitely burn as well. So, no, I'm really excited about this offense, and just one little glimpse of it on Saturday definitely has me excited.
100%. And obviously, we know they're probably going to be pretty vanilla. They might try some things against Wagner, but I'm really intrigued to kind of see what they pull out of their bag against Missouri on September 6th. I think that's going to be a huge game, and it's going to be really exciting to watch. But I think that's pretty much it from us, Carter. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, hopefully smooth sailing this week against Wagner. No scares, no injuries. Honestly, I want to see a good amount of Ballard, Marshall, maybe even McComb, get some of those other QBs some reps. But, yeah, hopefully nice, easy game this week, and, look forward to Missouri.
100%. Thanks, guys.